Almost 80,000 of you watched my Scottish minced beef and tatties video recently. You broke all records. Today is the sequel. We're cooking pork mince and tatties. It's certainly cheaper, but is it tastier? Let's find out, shall we? Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel and thanks for joining me for today's video presentation. It's spring here in Worcestershire. And I've got some lovely pretty daffodils that I bought from the store. And in my garden, I've got a magnolia tree. It blossoms every year and it's stunning, but it only lasts for 3 weeks. I just wish it lasted a little bit longer. Today's dish is part 2 of the mince and tatties. It's the pork version, which is slightly cheaper than the beef version. I think it's almost as good as the first version, but my teenage daughter, she had it 2 nights running, so I think she preferred it. We will need some ground or some minced pork. Fat content is entirely up to you. Here in the UK, we can get quite a big variety of pork mince. The standard stuff is around £2 for 500 grams, which is 18 ounces. If you've got a few extra pounds in your pocket, you can always go for the organic version. That's more than 3 times the price of the standard version. Then there is the fantastic, my personal preference is the outdoor bred pork mince. That's about £4, once again for 500 grams. Like all food, it's subjective. What one person thinks is brilliant, another person might not like it. So everything depends on your budget and it depends on how strict you are with your palate and your taste. Let's crack on with this dish, shall we? We'll also need some beef tallow dripping, some mustard, tomato paste, some Worcestershire sauce, some thyme and some sage. Plenty of onions, plenty of mushrooms, some beautiful cooked bacon, smoked or unsmoked, your choice, carrots, peas, and I am using some chicken stock. Now, some people prefer to use beef stock. Some people might even want to get some pork stock. It's entirely up to you. I don't think the stock is going to make a huge amount of difference. It will all be about the actual flavour of the pork and some of the spices we've used in there as well. A full list of all the ingredients you need are located by clicking on the word more just underneath the video, and instantly you will see all those ingredients needed for the video you've just watched, along with a few other key points and tips too. Anyway, this batch will feed about 4 normal portions. If you're greedy like me, it'll feed about 3 of you. Shall we get cracking and start this dish? So I'm going to melt my beef dripping. I know across the pond they call it beef tallow. What do you call it? Where you're from, do you call it anything different from dripping tallow? In Australia they might call it dripping, I'm not sure. Anyway, let's throw the onions in. Small to medium dice, the onions and the carrots. And the reason you can see red onion in there is because I had a half one in the fridge to use up. Let's add some thyme and sage. And now I'm going to stir fry that over a medium heat for about 5 minutes. We're not going to cook it, we're just going to start the cooking process off. And don't forget to do that chefy thing and flip it. Add the mushrooms. As soon as you add the mushrooms, they are going to absorb every bit of surplus moisture in the pan. So stir them round, make sure everything's nicely mixed together, and obviously we need to flip the pan again. Now, I like to add a tablespoon of water, and that will create steam, and that will help to cook those mushrooms. Pop the lid on, turn the heat right down for about 3 minutes, and the water would have evaporated and things would have really almost cooked. A few other flips of the pan, and now I'm going to add my pork mince or ground pork. I'm pretty sure bacon is bacon everywhere. I love the fact we all have different names for different foodstuffs. It's great fun. Why not drop me a comment below? Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you've got different names for different foodstuffs where you live, because it's just brilliant to find out. I just find it all totally fascinating. Stir fry the pork for about 5 or 6 minutes until it's pretty much cooked through. Make sure everything's changed colour from its raw state to its cooked state. And once you've given that 5 minutes over a medium heat, we can start adding some other ingredients. Mustard, followed by tomato paste. And do you know, any mustard, whole grain, Dijon, English, American, German, anything. I don't think the mustard is the big issue. Give everything a mix, make sure the mustard and the tomato is mixed really well into all the ingredients. That'll take you a couple of minutes. And then I want you to turn the heat off. And I want you to carefully mix the flour into your solids until the flour is no longer visible. We don't want to leave the heat on because burnt flour is awful. It's bitter, it will change the taste of your dish. Once the flour's mixed in, we're going to add the Worcestershire sauce. The heat's still off. Just going to mix that in, and now I'm going to pop the heat back on before we add our stock. Mix the Worcestershire sauce into the base, and now we're going to add stock. I've got some nice chicken stock here, and I've just used a very basic chicken stock jelly and a couple of chicken stock cubes. This isn't homemade. Add all the stock, and we're on a medium heat, and then very carefully stir it through, and you will see the stock, the liquid, will join forces with the solids, and after a couple of minutes mixing, you will have a lovely thick stew-like consistency. I forgot to mention the stock needs to be warm, not boiling, but just hot. A couple of minutes, giving that a good stir, making sure everything's nicely mixed in together. And it's starting to look and smell fantastic. Okay, I'm just going to throw in a few frozen peas, mix those round. Absolutely fabulous. Wonderful smells going on in my kitchen at the moment. Pop the lid on, turn the heat down to the smallest flame you have on your cooker, your stove tops. The tiny flame, put your timer on for 15 minutes. Tiny, tiny flame, and after 15 minutes, we are ready. Obviously, a lot of our solids are going to sink to the bottom, so bring everything together again. How about that? Nice and thick and shiny and glossy, velvety, smooth, stew-like texture, ready to ladle over my mashed potato. I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper. I like to use Himalayan pink salt. I really like it. And I've got a little bit of black pepper. Stir that through, and our pork mince is ready. Fabulous ground pork, carrots, peas, mushrooms, onions, little bit of Worcestershire sauce, and absolutely fabulous. Is the mashed potato ready yet? There it is. Get yourself a nice big mound of mashed potato, plenty of mash, and let's start ladling over our savoury pork mince on top of that mashed potato. I mean, look at it, a lovely colour. I love this colour. And let's face it, rice would be perfect with this. Pasta would be perfect with it. Even a bowl of this with a big flatbread or a chunk of bread. Absolutely fabulous. I mean, look at it. It's my pork mince and tatties, everyone. And that's a really big portion. And yeah, you've guessed it. That's mine.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video. Maybe you'd consider subscribing if you haven't already. Smashing the like button helps us hugely with the algorithm, and sharing with your friends is a massive bonus. We're looking to expand the channel as much as possible and spread the love. If you have anything to say about the video, please drop me a comment below. I will answer each one personally. As you can imagine, I am going to get stuck in because I'm starving. I'll see you guys very soon.